Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you.
Yes.
And we return to you as two very exhausted people.
That seems to be
The theme lately. Yeah, it's like somebody is opening a yarn store soon, and everything is topsy-turvy around here. We went straight from haunt season into yarn store season.
Yep.
And we haven't, I don't think we've had an honest-to-God, like, full day off since, like, middle to early October.
Yeah, maybe before that.
Before that even. It's been really, really crazy. So yes, if we sound tired, it's only because we are.
Uh-huh.
We'll talk more about that in a minute, but first thing is first, stay up to date on what's going on with us. You can follow us at all the usual places. We're at hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, and, conveniently enough, Haunt Weekly on YouTube. YouTube channel being a great way to access all the past episodes. Do stay especially in touch with us on Facebook, facebook.com/hauntweekly. As we are hoping to resume live broadcasts soon once things calm down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You'll be getting updates there. But hey, if you don't care about catching us live, just find us wherever you get your podcasts from. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Podmail, Podpeople, I don't know. All of them. We're pretty much there. All right. Well, one thing we like to do every week to kind of kick the things off and get the conversation flowing is we ask a question a week. And last week's question a week was, what changes are you definitely making for the 2023 haunt season? And we got some good answers here. Mm-hmm. First off, Chris Gay said that they will be investing in new Q-Line actor costumes because he said photos with patrons were down.
Oh, well, that's sad to hear.
Now, this is interesting because we only have two people in front of house, really.
Right?
And I'm always Bernie Baxter, and the other person, Farrell, changes the costume every year.
Right.
I need to ask him how many photos he's getting. I get a fair amount. I get about a dozen photos a night.
Yeah. I
get asked to take a lot of photos. One of the reasons why I want the improved mask. But no, Farrell changes it every year, so I'll have to figure that out. But I would say there is a benefit in having a central character that stays the same.
Right. That people recognize and it feels familiar.
And even if they've already gotten photos with a character, they're very likely to seek out new ones.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I know the same groups take pictures of me every fucking year.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
It's tradition.
I got an USFI a few times where I had to selfie with lots of people.
Okay.
I'm really glad I have a full mask on when I do that, too, because it is fucking hard to be smiling in those moments. I'm not going to lie. It has nothing to do with the people. I'm hurting in every way conceivable. Please just take the photo.
Yeah. Okay, on that note.
On that bombshell.
Sam Farrell said, complete overhaul of sound and music system. Some great ideas in the comments on this
there was some great conversation back and forth here about ways to do it. Someone recommended the Peekaboo MP3 system. I looked into it, and we are looking at revising our sound system some too.
Yes,
but honestly,
we don't really have one.
Yeah, and one of the frustrations we've had, and this has been kind of crazy. It used to be, but way back in like 2005, 2006, we would just get a boombox. Shunting into the ceiling.
Kids, a boombox is a thing.
I know. Right off the bat, I know I've lost like everyone under the age of 25.
Yeah,
it's okay. It was a CD player. CD. It was when they put music on discs. These little round. They look like vinyl records, but are much smaller. They know what vinyl is, but much smaller. And this had its own speakers. It was very self-contained. And that was actually kind of nice for background music, but it didn't have any scene-specific stuff we would do. Yeah. But one of the problems we're having is we have all these great devices for playing music, but we don't have a lot of ways to get that to speakers and to a large audience.
Yeah, and we have, some of the little boxes that activate the sounds that are specific for that room.
Yeah, and that is what we're looking at, either going fully decentralized which is kind of what I'm leaning to right now because we already have all the parts. But basically, they were called once upon a time screen boxes.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the company that sold them. I don't think the company does sell them anymore.
Right.
But we found the exact device because they were obviously, I mean, and this is what everybody does. They were getting it from an overseas factory and reselling it with their own content, which was a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually found the device on various stores, and I think we now have like 8 of them.
Yeah, because we ordered more.
Yeah, we ordered 4 more. And for it's going to be a 4 to 5 room haunt. That's a lot.
Yeah, we should be able to cover it with sound and that.
Yeah, and I think a fully decentralized approach may work better for us.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I do like the idea of something central like the Peekaboo MP3 thing. That idea does have its own appeal.
Yeah, I would still like, a background noise to go along through the
And that's the
whole
other thing. We still have to have some kind of base level.
ambient noise.
Yeah, ambient. Anyways, Sean Fenner said they are, quote unquote, leveling their oldest attraction. That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I understand that it may be necessary.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you do have to do that to an attraction. Especially, in the case of an older attraction, especially if it's not built to modern standards.
Right,
And,
or if it's outdoor and it's rotted.
Yeah, or there's reasons you might have to do it. But I personally strongly prefer keeping the attraction and updating and upgrading it wherever possible. But sometimes that's not possible, and I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Still sad.
But I'm sure that they will, find something in it that is memorable.
Yeah,
and keep that.
And you always have the option of taking, since you have multiple attractions, obviously, of taking elements and things from it and moving it into your other attractions. That's what 13th Gate did when they closed Necropolis. They brought a lot of the cemetery into the, because Necropolis was a giant cemetery.
Yeah.
They brought it into the main 13th Gate attraction.
Yeah, after many years in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally another sad one.
Yeah. Randall Tarrant said he's shutting down for health reasons.
That is sad. I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone is doing as well as can expect, but I understand that completely. I can tell you straightforward, I think when we decide to shut down, health reasons probably will be the reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were worried about how we were going to handle it physically this year. Because we'd had, like I said, 3 years closed.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of health stuff change between when we were in 2018 when we were last open and 2022.
Yeah.
And we were all worried. We both were very worried. We ended up holding up fine.
Yeah.
But there was nail biting there. I also do.
And my hands were a little worse this year than last time I used.
Yeah, my back was the fear I had.
Yeah.
Because, I do want to give a shout out to Tim Fowler. His opening, his change was he's opening at 7 next year, which I think is a smart move. Honestly, just do not be one of the haunts that says we open at sunset.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit. Don't make me look up your time on a fucking astrological chart or something, astronomy chart. Don't make me do that. Just give me an opening time. 7 actually I think is the perfect opening time.
Yeah.
I really do. In most places in the country, it will be comfortably dark, or at least well onto its way dark by then. And that lets you reach the crowd that maybe doesn't want to stay out too late. And especially if you're opening on weeknights or school nights, that gets you access to people that they're not going to be able to come at 9 and get home at 11, but they can come at 7 and get home at 9.
Yeah. It also helps with actors a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of our actors can't be here earlier. And have day jobs. So.
Yeah, and they can't be there later.
Yeah.
But I want to give him a shout out though because we asked about ways of storing pumpkins, and we talked about basically when you're trying to store pumpkins, you have the same problem trying to store volleyballs or basketballs, and this is like no efficient way to store them.
Right.
He had the idea of using Xmas tree bags.
Yeah.
I really liked that, and another friend of ours had another solution.
Of the giant compactor bags.
Yeah, I had not thought of those. I don't know if either will work for us because we're attempting to store this stuff covered outdoors.
Uh-huh.
But
maybe if we put it in the ceiling part.
Maybe.
That could work.
But no, the ideas are really, really good.
Yeah.
And kudos to both of you for helping us out. Uh-huh. This week's question of the week, what is your favorite memory from the 2022 haunt season? Um, this is gonna sound so stupid. I know what mine is. Because this was Halloween night. We had a lot of people come with their own costumes, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually hit a bit of a lull, which is weird for us on Halloween, but I ran with it. And I walked up and I saw a woman with a fascinator slash headband.
Mm-hmm.
And I took one look at her. I know what you are. And she goes, "What? You're the James Webb Telescope." And she got so ungodly excited that I recognized what she was. Because, oh no, only 2 people have ever gotten it all night. And I'm like, yes, I read my astronomy books. What's up with the cool kids in the space world? Yeah, no, she just got so so excited. I thought she was going to, like, explode. It was so great to actually make someone's night that way. It's not a scare moment, but it is absolutely wonderful to warm someone's heart just by knowing what their costume is.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I have a favorite moment from inside the haunt. I really enjoyed connecting with the new actors.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to our hangout whenever we finally get to do that.
For me, yeah, on that front, I think connecting with Alex in particular, the new kid. Call him a kid. He's not a kid by any stretch of that word. He's a kid to us because we're 42. We're in our 40s.
Yeah, and he's 18.
But no, he that was neat.
Yeah.
He's such a cool kid, and if he I hope he's able to come back next year. But if not, he's gonna do great shit. He doesn't need us. He's gonna do awesome things.
That and the woman walking around with the kid from down the road.
Yeah, the special needs girl. Yeah, they came back actually a couple nights ago.
I know, that's why we have to take everything down.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Because now it's at a point where there are cords everywhere and can be tripped on. So.
Yeah, and there's no clear blocking.
Yeah.
And we've got to finish taking it down, but we've been super swamped with everything else going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been frustrating. But anyways, we're going to get into the conference reminders real fast.
Yes, we are. We haven't done those in a minute.
But we need to get caught back up on those, so I will begin while you pull up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming up this weekend, the 25th and the 26th, it's Creep It Real Festive in Santa Ana, California, the Heritage Museum of OC. You can find out more at creepitrealoc.com.
Okay, and then January 10th through the 12th in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Viva Las Vegas.
It's Halloween and Party Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada. Stop doing that.
Sorry.
Hundreds of vendors, not open to the public, have to have a thing. It's at the Mirage.
It's at the Mirage, sorry. I screwed you up, huh?
Yes, you're moving my box.
I didn't realize I could move your box. Can I? No, I can't move. Okay, that's just... Anyways, I'm learning shit about Google Docs here. Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, but bear in mind, like I said, that is typically an event for wholesalers, but it may be a great place to check out what's upcoming. Then, February 2nd through the 5th in St. Louis, Missouri, it's Transworld's Halloween and Attraction Show at the America Center, featuring a pre-show bus tour, a party at City Museum, and it will also coincide with their Christmas show. As we say it all the time, go to the HA Show, HAASHOW.com for more information.
Okay. Then, March 24th, Fear Expo Live in Owensboro, Kentucky at the Owensboro Convention Center. Free admission. It's not open to the public, though.
Yes.
Partnered with HauntCon. So if you're missing your HauntCon, that's where to go.
Mm-hmm.
FearExpoLive.com for more info.
And finally, for this week, January, March, April.
I know, you need to change that.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to... April 29th through the 30th in Los Angeles, California. It's the Spooky Swap Meet at the Heritage Square Museum. A great place to purchase what they describe as gently loved items. That will include costumes and decor created by the co-founder of Midsummer Scream, Eek. SpookySwapMeet.com for more information.
All right.
Good spate of conferences coming up.
Yeah.
All right. So getting back into the habit, work we did for our haunt this week, none really.
Nope.
A little more progress made in tearing down the yard display, but the yarn store, Ellie's Yarn Store, has been really eating up all of our quote-unquote spare time.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we don't have spare time yet.
No. And honestly, the grand opening is Saturday.
Yeah. And there is so much love for this store.
It is absolutely batshit, pants on head, insane. I have learned that it is easier to sell an expensive yarn store than it is to pitch a free haunted house.
Yep.
I mean, I just cannot believe the amount of attention and the love that she's been getting from the community.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, there's a troll or two, but of course
There's always going to be.
There's always going to be one of those. Can't count for dickheads. But no, I've been very, very blown away by the feedback she's been getting, and I am excited for her. I think this actually may be, I exist in a state of constant skepticism.
Uh-huh.
You have to understand, if like 1 is a complete cynic and a 10 is a total optimist,
Uh-huh.
I usually hover around a 3 or a 4 for everything.
Uh-huh.
I tend to be a skeptic. My skepticism about this has really been turning around this past few weeks, watching the NOLA yarn community, New Orleans yarn community, really rally around her and get silly excited about this.
And not only that, but she's already gotten like 6 tourists in.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists, you know.
Yeah, yarn tourists, and yarn
crazy.
tourists are a thing. We knew that because you and Ellie were yarn tourists multiple occasions.
Yes.
But apparently there are even things here too.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, and that is one of the things that makes it kind of crazy, because knowing that yarn tourists are a thing, and that we exist in such a tourist town,
Yeah.
it seems crazy we don't have a dedicated yarn store.
Yeah.
We do have 2 other stores that sell yarn.
Yeah.
2 other small shops that sell yarn. We actually have a lot of shops that sell yarn.
Yeah.
Because you got to go to a Joann's or Michael's too.
Yeah.
But a dedicated small business yarn store, Ellie's the only one.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is an episode that's divisible by 4. So that means it's time to do the news. And you know what? I've got to say this. This is a kind of a good thing here, because even though we actually are going back 2 months because we skipped with the 360 because that was the middle of haunt season itself.
Right.
The news has been largely tame.
Yeah.
We have a couple of serious stories we're starting off with, but I've got to be honest, compared to like 2021 and 2020, where it seemed like we were reading a police blotter and not haunted attraction news.
No kidding.
This has been pretty good. I'm actually kind of happy about this. So, Crystal, you want to get us started? Or do you want to go first?
No, I can do it.
Okay.
So, alleged violent incident at Fear Overload Scream Park. This is by thedailydot.com, and the article was written by Jack Alban.
Albert? No, wait.
No, it's not spelled like that.
Oh, I'm sure he has heard that joke 8 million
I
times,
am
too.
positive.
Poor guy.
Yes. All right. According to the video uploaded October 28th, there was a potential violent incident at the Scream Park in Newark, California. It shows a tense situation where the park queue line actors broke characters and were getting people to safety. It was initially blamed on a cast member wielding a knife, but it appears that that was not the case.
Yes.
It was a customer.
Who may have been in some kind of costume, getting confused as a cast member.
Right. But no one appears to have been hurt. That's the good news. No additional news coverage that we could find at this time. And the park concluded its normal season.
Yeah, I went, because this happened, like you said, on October 18th. We're currently recording this, I think, on the 21st of November. I dug around for any update on this.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. This is the only article and the only coverage on this I could find. So my hope is that there wasn't even an incident.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't even an incident. It was just fear of an incident.
Yeah.
And things happen. I mean, people will, see things out of the corner of their eye and jump to the wrong conclusions. And so it could have been something like that. And here's the thing. Everyone I saw in those videos was doing exactly right.
Yeah.
Listen, and this goes to both sides here. If you are an actor, especially a queue line actor, one of your obligations is crowd control and safety.
Mm-hmm.
You may not realize that, but it is. And so doing like these actors did, breaking character, getting everyone to safety, they did a good job. And the people did a great job in following them and listening to the instructions. So everyone did their part. And if there was an actual incident, like I said, I can find nothing about anyone being hurt, no one being arrested, there's no follow-up beyond this article in the Daily Dot. And so I suspect it was probably a false alarm situation because of that. And if that's the case, good. I'd rather have a false alarm than have a real attack get much, much worse because people didn't take it seriously enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I applaud everyone in this. I don't care if it was a false alarm or not. Everyone did right.
Yeah.
Just good job. Go team. Go team haunters. We do the good.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy, this one's heavy. Reindeer Manor Halloween Park to move after nearly half a century. 49 years to be exact.
Yeah.
49. Oh my god, that would drive me bonkers until my dying day. To have 49 years in one place.
And not 50.
Not 50, exactly.
Yeah.
To get to the 50. I mean, I know it's not their choice. It doesn't seem like it's their choice. But, my brain wants it to be 50 so bad.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, this is an article by NBC5, and Noel Walker is the author. But Reindeer Manor, which is located in Red Oak, Texas, near Dallas, announced this will be its last year at its current location. Basically, it's from what the article said and what others have said, the area around them is just being built up.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect 49 years ago when they went out there wasn't shit out there, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet they were the only thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
There was 3 people and a goat in that part of the neck of the woods. And I've seen this exact same thing happen to my parents' old house now in South Carolina. Because when that neighborhood was put up, when we moved out there was fuck all
Yeah.
around. There wasn't no Chili's. You had to go into town if you wanted a Chili's. and now it's like so built up, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's what's happening here. In fact, they talked at one point in the article about how there's this new big road that's like 15 feet from the property line that wasn't there previously. So it sounds to me like it's just being built up. They claim to be, though, obviously this is impossible to verify for a lot of reasons, the oldest haunted house in America. I've not found anyone that's claiming more years, I'll be honest.
Right.
But that's one of those things, and I've wanted to talk about this for a long time, that's almost impossible to verify.
Yeah.
Just because there's so little solid history here. Mm-hmm. And it's not a comment on them. I do genuinely believe they are either the oldest or definitely in the top few. But I actually have no reason to doubt their claim.
Yeah.
But they did not provide an indication of where they were moving to, which is the worrying part for me.
Yeah, that is worrying. We saw a lot of haunters who went for their last show at their current location, including Japes, was there for a weekend. Guest rolling.
Japes gone Jape.
Yep.
Japes gone Japes.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I really do hope that this is just them moving.
Mm-hmm.
Moving a big screen park like this is a Herculean task.
Yes.
It's going to be a mammoth task under the best of circumstances. And yeah, they've got a lot of work ahead of them to do this. I hope it all works out. I hope they've got a new plot. I really wish I could have found in some of the coverage where that is.
Yeah.
But I did not. Yeah, and it just sounds like they moved to the middle of nowhere. They started out in the middle of nowhere. Things were going good, and that area just grew. Dallas is a sprawly city. Mm-hmm. Didn't you live in Dallas for a time?
Outskirts of it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
so you'd say Dallas because that's where everybody knew, kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think people in Red Oak would probably say they live Dallas area.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those deals. So, yeah. Good luck to you all. I hope the move goes well. And mad respect for the effort you're about to put up with to do it. I'm telling you straight. Mm-hmm. That is wild.
Right. Next up, a haunted hotel ride is coming in 2023 to Funtown Splashtown in Saco, Maine.
Hey, a water park in Maine. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. This article is by Lauren Freeman, Esquire, at attractionsmagazine.com.
I'm unsure why the Esquire was important for this article, but they include it in the byline.
If you get the Esquire behind your name, you put it everywhere.
That's true. Even when you're writing a silly little article about a dark ride opening in a Maine amusement park.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Spoilers. So yes, there's
going to
be
the headline. The spoiler was the headline.
It's going to be entitled Whispering Pines Hotel. The ride is both a ride-through attraction and an interactive one.
Yes.
Customers use curse eradicators to free the hotel from a witch's spell. This reminds me...
I think it should be a decursinator. Go full. If you're going to go Doofenshmirtz, go Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, but that reminds me of the little one that they had at Carowinds, the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Dark ride.
Which was a lot of fun.
It was.
And a childish one.
Little
ghosties as you go there. Yeah. As childish as it was, I actually had a lot of fucking fun. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like some things, the things that are silly and spooky are still really fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've talked so much, though, on this podcast about how dark rides are closing down, dark rides are going away, the need to preserve dark rides. Yeah, this is a rare story of a new dark ride opening.
Yeah, and maybe it's because there's been so much interaction.
And I think it's also a little bit of an evolution of a dark ride, because, yeah, we've done other interactive rides before like this. Like, you mentioned the Scooby-Doo one.
Right.
That we did, where you got the little laser cannon things on the front of the car, and you aim and go pew, 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 they go, and then you rack up a store so it's co-op competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I think this is a good evolution. I do think one of the things, not just dark rides, but haunts need to be thinking about as we move forward is how we're going to increase interactivity.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is because we live in a very interactive society. We're used to our entertainment being interactive. Like I was noticing the other day, like I was watching something on Peacock, Alfred Hitchcock, no less.
Oh, okay.
But whenever the commercials come up, they have an interactive component. Like they're doing trivia and shit during the commercials to keep you engaged and to keep you. What's up?
Yeah, nothing.
Keep you interacting, which is kind of cool. But I think our attractions need to find ways to increase interactivity, not just between actor and customer. Because that's always kind of been a thing of it. But, and finding other ways too. I think this is a great idea. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm shocked as hell there's a water park in Maine.
Yeah. You mentioned.
What's your season? Like 3 days?
I think you have an idea that Maine is colder longer. Just because it's colder more days than New Orleans, which is like 3.
Yeah.
Because we only get like a 3-day winter. We're in the middle of it.
Well, it's already warming up from that, so screw us. But yeah, no, I am so happy to hear about this, even if it does seem a bit silly. Like we said, we've had fun at the other ones that were silly and kiddie. Why not this one? I would absolutely, if I made some kind of mistake and found myself in Maine, I would absolutely check this out.
Yeah.
And I just insulted everyone in Maine. Please don't hurt me. All right. Well, this is some reporting by us.
Yes.
We get to continue this. But it's actually the same story we first broke. Man who sued Spirit Halloween over mask reaches settlement with Spirit. Okay, to backtrack a little bit here. Recently, the United States Copyright Office opened what is known as the Copyright Claims Board. It essentially functions as a small claims court for copyright matters.
Right.
And so basically, if you have a dispute and it's under a certain dollar amount, you can save a lot of money and a lot of time and take it through this. Now, the counterpunch is the person you're suing or making the claim against actually can opt out of the process. And then you have to go to a regular federal court and do it the hardcore way.
Yeah.
But under some circumstances, the defendant may choose to play ball. And that seems to be exactly what happened here. So Thomas E. Wood was one of the first claimants. He was in the first 100. And I think we're up to damn near 300 now. It was in the first 100. He filed a claim with the Copyright Claims Board that alleged Spirit Halloween had infringed his mask design. And he showed side-by-sides the photos and the exhibits. And this is all public documentation. And yeah, I can see why he thought that. Don't know if I'm not going to comment on whether or not it added to infringement or if Spirit copied or whatever. But I can see at least where he got the idea, I didn't go, well, that's nuts, and toss it aside. Well, Well, it got to the point where Spirit was served with a claim, which is basically what happens is you file the claim, it's accepted, you serve the respondents with the claim, and then if the respondents don't opt out, then the case moves forward. But it got to the point where Spirit was served, and apparently after being served with it, Spirit and Mr. Wood came together and reached a settlement. The terms of the settlement are unknown, as they usually are in these types of cases, but both sides have stipulated the case be dismissed because of that settlement.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this might be the hidden boon. This is me mixing my day job and my night job.
Yeah.
Very hardcore here. But this may be something of the boon of the Copyright Claims Board. Not so much necessarily the ability that judges take the case, but by having formal service, by having this whole process, it pushes defendants to the settlement table when otherwise they might not be inclined.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I were a large corporation looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in legal fees,
Yeah. And
drawn out over years.
And to give you an idea, copyright cases to be filed in federal court, a inexpensive case, one that's resolved very quickly and almost immediately, costs about $10,000 to file.
Yeah.
And defending one can easily run into the millions of dollars. And I know I get some of those fees as part of my day job.
Uh-huh.
Not millions of dollars worth of those fees.
No.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Yes.
But no, I get a not insignificant amount of those fees. But yeah, it's expensive. It's just flatly expensive. And the idea of being able to resolve these disputes in an environment where the maximum amount of damages, I think, is $30,000. And no lawyers required, though any lawyers you hire would not need a lot of hours or time or anything like that. The chance basically to resolve this for pennies on the dollar of just defending a case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge deal. And I think Spirit made the right move in working this out with him. Honestly, I think that this is great news, and I think this highlights what could be the good of the Copyright Claims Board. But also, I think it probably speaks at least reasonably well of Spirit. That they saw this dispute and they tried to work it out. Rather than forcing him, because they could have just opted out and said, "Sue us in real court, bitch," you know, and then forced Mr. Wood to undergo a lot of expense if he wanted to bring the case. Instead, they worked with him at this stage. So honestly, I'm happy. This is great news.
Yeah.
Unparalleled.
Seems like it might work.
Yeah, maybe. Crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
All right. Next up, we have an article by Amber Answorth of Fox 2 Detroit. Erebus Haunted Attraction offered fun without fear, scare-free weekend tours. They did this October 30th from 3 to 5. Tickets were $15 plus a $3.99 service fee, which meant tickets were $19.
Jackasses. Sorry. Now that the Swifties are at war with Ticketmaster, I officially have to be on the side of Taylor Swift for a minute. This is a very awkward place for me.
Yeah.
But... anyway, moving on.
Which is, lower than the normal general admission tickets of $20 to $35.
Plus whatever the fee is on those, too, I'm sure. But anyways.
Yeah.
But, yeah, basically it was a chance to go through Erebus without being scared.
Yeah. Because and this is good because I have a lot of friends who have heard about the haunted house forever. They trust me. They know me. They still wouldn't come through unless I promised them that we would not scare them. And so we do have people who come through that are adults who don't want to be scared but just want to see what it's about. And, if you're a parent of a kid and you're scared, but you want to check out what it is before your kid goes through, then that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah, I love this idea because you're tapping into a whole new audience, an audience that we've kind of ignored. And that is people who don't enjoy fear-based entertainment.
Yeah.
They don't like being scared. There are people like that. And they are not an insignificant number either, as you were just talking about. You have several of your friends, and, we both know people that way.
Mm-hmm.
Second, it also brings in individuals who might not be able to be in that environment for one of various reasons. Maybe they do enjoy being scared, but maybe they're punchers when they get scared. Or maybe they have some kind of mental condition or PTSD or some kind of need where they would enjoy fear-based entertainment, but it unfortunately causes bigger problems.
Right.
People like that, this is a way to reach out to them, because here's the thing. Everyone we've shown the haunt to, scare or no scare, has been very appreciative of the craftsmanship and the work and the effort and has oohed and awed at what we've done.
Right.
I would love to do, I mean, I would obviously want to go to Erebus when they were open and go for the full experience.
Right.
But I would also take this opportunity too, if offered, just because it'd be a great chance to really see that, focus on that element of it.
Yeah. I would love to be there, for there to be a way to do more behind the scenes and lights on tours of haunts out of season.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that were common.
Yeah, and not just for haunted attraction conventions too.
Yeah.
Because it seems like haunt conventions are where you get to do that.
Yeah.
And while that's great and all, I'm like you. I would love the ability to rock up to the 13th Gate
Uh-huh.
on a specific night with other haunt lovers and take a behind the scenes tour.
Yep.
Because zoos I know do behind the scenes tours regularly. Why don't
Yeah.
haunts? It's just an idea. I mean, but anyways, this is such a cool idea. I hope this is something that's co-opted by other haunts. This is an idea I think that is ripe for copying.
Yeah.
I really do. Offer no scare tours. The only question I have is I don't know if October 30th. That was the Sunday before Halloween.
Well, they might have paired it with, like, giving out candy to any little kids that came through
Oh, fair
and
enough.
stuff like that.
I personally would think you'd want to offer it earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I don't know.
But the 30th, you can guarantee the little kids have their costumes.
Yeah.
Because Halloween's the next day. And
Yeah.
that was a Sunday also.
Yeah. Okay, fair play to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, moving on then. This is from Not Scary Farm social media.
Okay.
I do have next, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Not Scary Farm changes chaperone policy. Now, this is where we get kind of weird because I've heard so much conflicting information here. I almost don't want to give any information.
Right.
But earlier in the season and earlier, prior to season even,
Yeah.
there had been a couple of quote-unquote incidents at Not Scary Farm that caused them to block admission to unaccompanied minors.
Right.
Like I said, we don't really know what happened. I've heard a variety of stories from a variety of people, all of whom should be relatively well in the know. So I don't know. I just give up on trying to figure out what exactly happened. But they made the decision to no longer sell tickets or grant admission to unaccompanied minors. And this decision was made like weeks before haunt season began.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was part of their summer, if I remember correctly. It was a summer thing.
Yeah.
But the decision came down like 2 weeks before they were going to be opening from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For Not Scary Farm. So basically, they have changed the policy, and the new policy, up to 5 minors can be accompanied by 1 chaperone over the age of 21. And if a chaperone brings 5 paid minors,
Mm-hmm.
that chaperone then gets a free ticket. And I think this is a potentially huge improvement, honestly. I really do. This is a bit like when bars reward the designated driver.
Yeah, exactly. With free sodas.
Free sodas or a coupon to come back later when they're not the DD or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good thing. It's essentially a good thing to reward chaperones and encourage that. I'm a little sketched because the age of the chaperone is 21, and the age one 21-year-old chaperone can theoretically chauffeur and chaperone, because chaperone is a noun and a verb, can chaperone 5 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
That does seem like putting a lot of burden on that one kid.
Well, yeah,
and
we say kid once
21s
again.
are kids.
Yes, they are. When you're our age, 21-year-olds are kids. Frankly, there are people in their 30s that are still kids.
Yeah.
But the point remains that it's a better policy. It's rewarding chaperones. It's rewarding responsibility. Like I said, I'm a little weirded out by the ages there, but I really do love the idea of, hey, if you're the designated chaperone, here's your free ticket.
Yeah. Well, that is a really good idea, and it encourages people to bring their young kids they know.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, I gave the extreme example of someone over 21 chaperoning 5 17-year-olds when it could just easily be, someone in their 30s chaperoning 5 14-year-olds or something.
Mm-hmm.
Still held chaperone,
Yeah.
but makes more sense at that point. It sounds more right,
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, moving on.
All right. Halloween display paying homage to Stranger Things was put on hold briefly.
Yes, briefly.
After
Emphasis on the briefly.
Yes, I'm putting that up in the front. This is an article by WLS staff at KY3. This is in Plainfield, Illinois. The homeowner Audrey Apple, or is it Apple?
Apple. We've never heard it said.
No. Created an amazing Stranger Things display featuring a floating dummy.
And literally everyone wanted to know how the fuck it was done. And I agree with those people.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions about how it was done. That is very true. But one neighbor complained that it could possibly about the crowds and citing negative attention to the neighborhood. Sounds like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But they talked to the Audrey talked to the city officials and about reopening and got it.
And got it approved from the police.
Exactly.
The police eventually gave the okay to go ahead with it again. And so it was only down for a couple of days. But yeah, that viral Stranger Things display, and it was everywhere.
It was. For a hot minute, it was everywhere. And I believe it was Max was the character that was brought up.
Yeah.
Because I watched it. You haven't.
I have not watched Stranger Things. I know. I'm a horrible haunter.
No.
But the thing that was so funny about it was, like, when it first went viral, as much as I hate that term, it's the only way to describe it, unfortunately. First went viral. Like, people from my copyright circles were writing me, "Did you see this?"
Yeah.
It's like, hey, why are you writing me about Halloween shit? And yes.
You couldn't avoid it.
Yeah, it was everywhere. And everyone wanted to know how it was done. I've seen multiple theories about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing was, it wasn't just floating in the air with no seeming support. It was floating stably.
Right.
It was very stable. Like, it was not moving. It was rigid, just like the character in the scene.
Right.
So, yeah, how the fuck did you do that? We want to know. And they deliberately have been very, very quiet about how they did it. There have been so many theories and so many people talking about it, and I have no idea. I'm just going to try to enjoy, basically...
Everybody else trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and enjoy the illusion myself.
Yeah.
Because I rather enjoy a good illusion time and again. So, yeah, I'm glad they were able to work it out with the city and boo the neighbor. No, but...
Yeah.
But on one hand, I do understand, because it's not like our house where, like, now everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, we're all cool and we all know what's going down on Halloween. This was all of a sudden, from nothing to everything. Yeah, okay, I can see why that would be a bit of annoying in the moment.
Yeah, but
it's also
we
not
were that people.
It's also not. But it's also not Audrey's fault that it blew up.
No, it's not.
So I'm not blaming her either.
No.
I'm just saying I kind of sympathize a little bit, but still, there are better ways to work it out.
Yeah.
Jesus Murphy, All right, our final story this week is another feel-good story. OC Home turned haunted house gives back and inspires a Disney legend. This is an article from Yahoo News. Basically, a family in Aliso Viejo?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said Aliso Viejo? I don't know.
Sorry.
In Orange County, California, put up a mammoth haunted mansion-themed home haunt in their front yard and areas around it. And they really... This is one of those, go watch the video.
Yeah, this one is definitely worth it.
Yeah, this is a... We usually have one or two stories every time we're like, go watch the video or go read the article. Mm-hmm. This is one of those. You really want to see this video. It's batshit insane. It's awesome. But they put on this holy cow, big mammoth haunted mansion themed haunt. They sell concessions, but all of the proceeds from the concessions go to the Dana Point 5th Marine Regiment Support Group, a cause that they feel very... They apparently have... the family there has lineage with the Marines.
Right.
But the very, very cool part was they got Bob Gurr, the Imagineer who created the original Haunted Mansion, to come by and see it on his 91st birthday.
Yes, they gave him cake.
And he seemed so fucking happy.
He seemed like such a cool person.
I just
like,
want to...
Really?
I want to find out where he is and just go sit and chat with him for a while.
Yeah.
He just seems like he would be so much cooler than most people that ever worked at Disney. He seemed like a lot of fun. Genuine fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Gurr was out, and he was, like I said, the Imagineer that created the original Haunted Mansion there in Disneyland in California, and celebrated his 91st birthday with him. That is so cool.
That is.
That is just incredible. I mean, I can't... I don't know, man. That's... If that's... For them as home haunters, that has to be a very special thing to get that kind of a blessing.
Yeah.
For what they do. And he really seemed very ecstatic about the... They had some very good fucking replica work there. I mean, I was genuinely impressed with what they did.
Yeah. The ghosts were really impressive.
Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of this gimmick anyway, but I really do like the projections on the busts.
Yeah.
Making them talk. Because, yeah, okay, I get it. It's just a projector on a bust. I understand that. But it's so hard to do really right.
Right.
And they got it just about perfect. It's so hard to get that well. It's so tough, believe me. Having dabbled with projection stuff before, I know how difficult that is to dial in. And I was very impressed that they got it to work so well. So yeah, definitely check out the video on that one. And in part of that video, you will see a very happy Bob Gurr dancing around and getting cake. Because
yes,
that's awesome. Well, that's all we have.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, compared to 2020 and 2021... this post-on-season news has been fairly upbeat. So yeah, I'm actually thrilled with the way it's gone. And honestly, like early in the season, we were worried because we were getting reports of customers being violent and customers. It seems like a lot of that stuff died down.
Yeah,
like
happy to hear that.
I'm happy to hear it, and I know that both here in New Orleans and in Mobile, and with our own haunt, we never got that vibe that there was any violence or anything like that about to happen. Yeah. So I'm glad that reading was accurate and it ended up being it. And I'm glad that the problems of the early season seem to have dissipated. Because, dear God, I don't know if I could have taken another one of those years.
No.
I just don't know what I would have done.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, everyone, thank you very much for joining us for the past 45 minutes to an hour or so. We greatly appreciate it. Please, if you do have any news stories that you want us to cover or think that we should cover, let us know. You can reach out to us at hauntweekly.com or hauntweekly on Twitter. Well, as long as there is a Twitter. Haunt Weekly on Facebook and also youtube.com/hauntweekly's YouTube channel. We read the comments there as well. So please take a moment, drop us anything there, or just any feedback or suggestions or ideas. Also at facebook.com/hauntweekly, we share the question of the week as a standalone post. And yeah, the conversations get kind of rich sometimes. I like it. So definitely check that out. But until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you all next week. As I don't know what the hell we're doing next week, honestly.
No, we never do.
We never do. But we'll see you then.